Hey, let's do this. So it begins. Woof, woof. Rush, Dr. Light, did something go wrong? First of all, Mega Man, I'd like to congratulate you on 25 elements. I know it might not seem like a lot, but it's still significant. But what I came to tell you is that in the lab I've been picking up some odd signals lately. There's been a strange increase in space debris, Mega Man. I couldn't tell you why. I haven't fully investigated it quite yet. I would have just liked to warn you. It might be Wily up to his old tricks. Alright, I'll be sure to keep that in mind. Carrot Man. Oh, so this is Super Mega Man. We're gonna use Carrot Man for an episode, because this is my favorite official costume. Look at how he weaves around. Okay, so we're on to one of my favorite levels. It's my favorite level of Tier 3. All refreshed and ready to go. You there, Pori? Giant carrot. Whoops. I was doing so well. Good for your eyes. F indeed. I've been losing weight lately, Pori. I'm fairly sure I've been losing weight. No! Man, I'm just gonna use the... the... super arrow. Also, I'm getting my nails painted tomorrow. Most likely. I'm curious, Pori, do you want to do Dragon Prince tonight? Ow. Oh, that sucks. There it is. Look at this gangly Crash Man. He wants arms. No, they're not. Most likely, anyway. I'd imagine not. So I have a question for you, Pori. Do you want me to show off this entire level to you, or do you want me to just finish it? Well, too late. Do you want me to finish this level, or... Alright, let's see the level. Crashman has been hidden in this level. Hint, he's located somewhere in the Quickman laser drop. There's a hidden Yasichi in the ceiling of the blue path before the big room teleporters to the top right. Block trains and other gimmicks can be frozen with the flash stopper. There's a set of hidden rooms one can be accessed by sliding through the left wall in the room with the Clashman platform path. The other is in the Quickman laser drop and is also available via a teleporter in this room. Don't worry, they are connected. I was missing something there. There was a secret there, I know there was. Plus, if you look carefully... Is it this one? Yes, it's this one. Keep still, he might not notice me. You can see why they're moving. Yeah, I agree. It was really creative and cool. The gimmicks in this level are really not well thought out, but they do work nicely. I like them, personally. And it is a Forgotten Fortress, so it makes sense there'd be so many different gimmicks here. Oh, that was cool. I didn't even intend to get that. So you've seen another route. There we go. That's another area. I hate this. Carrots! No, please. Hang on, I want to check something. Okay. I just heard back from a friend I haven't heard from in maybe a few years, honestly. Yeah, definitely. Oh, wow. It is a trip. It really is. Woo, 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 woo. Oh, this one. Bouncy Castle. That was a close jump. That's nearly all of it. It's amazing how many different paths there are, isn't it? Oh, that's not a slope ground. One second. We're going down this way this time. Oh, we already went this way, I think. So I think we've seen more or less all there is to see of this level, but I'm not 100% sure. And yeah, quick man lasers. There are quite a few quick man lasers in this, but they're not instant death, fortunately. In this level, they're not instant death. Mega Man Medar. That's a boss. It's Carrot Man. I think he's a meme character, I'm not really sure. There. Oh, we missed a Noble Nickel. Oh well. I'm shocked that people around here even have the time to play all of these maddening simulations. Seductive machinery noises. Tier 3 boss. Do you want to do Dragon Prince tonight, Pori? Hang on, let me turn on my lamp. There, lamp turned on. Looks good, doesn't it, sir? I feel they captured my likeness very well. I'll be with you in a moment, sir. Just wait for me. Sir, hold the door, please. That's okay, no problem. I hope you have fun. You, Carrot Jerk! Is common courtesy not programmed into your matrix? Manners cost nothing, good sir. The anger that is building inside me burns with a passion yet unheard of. Sir, that inner fire will send you to the eternal damnation of Silicon Hell. Prepare to burn along with all the photocopiers. What are you weak to again? Oh, Gordon Bennett. I left the element in that room. Yeah, Doorman is a great idea. I forget what it's called. I forget what it's from. But Doorman is from a Mega Man fan game. Time for Tier 3. No, Tier 4. Subway time. Why wait for silly trains to take you places when you can just use the Hell Wheel? Alien Temple. Oh, I forgot to look at the reviews for the previous level we were at. Oh, well. Basically, people didn't like the previous level we were at very much. The judges weren't a big fan of it. I think one of the judges liked it, but overall, some of the judges had issues with it. Especially because back then it was laggy. Intruder alert! A rogue robot has entered the temple. It must be captured at any cost. Alive or dead. Easy peasy. So we just fought an alien, that's basically all that was. What a cool concept, but I literally beat the stage in like 30 seconds. It's just a boss fight, and the boss fight is just good. Most of the attacks are fine, though the boss feels a bit dull because it seems like it just randomly chooses attacks, and some, like the yellow comment attack, aren't really well telegraphed. It's literally only the boss, so it's not like I can say that much more about this. It looks really nice, though. Pretty cool boss. It'd be better if there's an actual stage, though. An okay boss fight, it shines more in its concept than it does in its execution. All it needs is more telegraphing for its attacks, slightly slower and smaller projectiles, and something that prevents him from spawning on top of the player. I like the idea of having to utilize half times gravity to reach him, but occasionally he spawned near the ground, which interrupted my illusion of this being a consistent thing. I was half hoping for this to be the prelude to an alien base intrusion level, though, so I can't help but be somewhat disappointed by there being no substance, aside from the boss itself. Come on, there could have been much more to this level. I mean, for what's there, it's not bad, but there's a serious lack of content considering that the level consists of only one boss and a very short section before it. That's simply not enough. The boss was fine, if incredibly easy, kind of like a really simple Wily capsule without the risk of telefrags. And I'm done. Nope, no Lord of the Rings-like comment this time. So, I personally don't like this level, or boss fight rather, very much. I think the Forgotten Fortress should have gone where that did. Choo-choo! Finally the subway is here. I've been waiting for a long time. Ugh, trains are so slow nowadays. Joe Destruction Company. So here are the credits. Music by Cake Bango. Cake Bango? Kaki Bango. Oh, that's cool. That's not good. I'm all the way back here. I'm all the way back here? Carrot. Kakarot Man. That was close. That was also close. There we go. We did it. It's an okay level, and that's really the problem with it, though I don't think it's entirely appropriate to call it a problem. It's just a kind of their level. The lack of music doesn't help that feeling because you forgot to send the track. Kind of makes the music by credit section a bit weird, lol. But yeah, it's a kind of their level. I like the setup at the beginning with the reflector blocks and the picket man. And there's some good usage of the Concrete Man platforms, but by the end of the level it just kind of drops off and becomes Drill Man Mark II. It's kind of sad, honestly, because I was expecting some Joe-destroying action based on the level name, but then in the end it just ended up being a construction-y level with like half a dozen Hammer Joes and no other Joe family enemies. My main issue with this level is the random screen with credits to the person who made the music that were written in the blocks. First of all, you could have easily used a sign, and second, the ladder exiting that room drops you right onto an enemy that's nearly impossible to dodge. Also, the lack of a boss was pretty disappointing. You should have used Gutsman. He would have fit into the destruction theme of the level nicely. The rest of the level was easy and forgettable. This level has interesting ideas, but they're often put in such a way where the player is incredibly likely to take unavoidable, or hardly avoidable, damage. Some objects didn't feel very calculated in their placement either, with bugs just zooming by and rock dispensers being very close to the ground, making me not want to go through the stage with only the Buster. I like how the level progresses underground though. It's a neat change of pace, but even that has its little downside as I found a shortcut into the underground sections that skips about 2 screens of the level. Fixed post-judging. The hidden music room, which used to be funny when the stage lacked music, is something many players will find on accident, as one of the up-moving platforms will crush the player into the bottom of the music room, complete with screen transition and all. Overall, neat ideas, but they're a bit chaotic. I don't even know what to say. The level design is awful. Enemy choice and placement is disgusting, and the level is just frustrating overall. It doesn't even try to do anything interesting. The graphics are average, and there are quite a bit of bugs and oversights in this stage. It sucks. The version I played lacked any music whatsoever, and that makes this level even more boring than it actually is. When I went back to play it with the music, it wasn't exactly helped. Your name implies something that never happens. Shame. So what does this level accomplish? Not a whole lot. Props will be given, nothing was used badly. You had a mix of gimmicks, but again, the challenges are very basic. Enemies were also selected without much forethought, it seems. One notable highlight, the picket man towards the start of the stage. I really thought that pit was clever, and had you built around that sort of thing, maybe you could have pulled something memorable off. As it stands, this level simply exists. At least you put in some platforming, so that makes the things a little more tolerable. Oh, and lovely, boss corridor. No boss, no climax, nothing. I mean, you even put an E-tank before said corridor. What the hell? So next up is my favorite level in Tier 4. Neon Man. Motion sickness warning. So this is this stage's gimmick, moving screens. Pretty cool, huh? Oops. Go, my bees! Also, the checkpoints in this are rather liberal. So I don't have much problems with this stage. There we go, did it. So I like this level a lot, and you get better at it with practice. The big problem, though, is with the boss. The boss hits like a truck. But I really like this. This is one of my favorite stages. It's definitely my favorite stage of Tier 4. This level pulls off its gimmick incredibly well, and I absolutely despise it for that. I cannot handle the weirdo holograms. They literally destroy my brain. Call me dumb, but once they activate, I just completely stop functioning, get horribly disoriented, and just run into pits and have not a fun time at all. The level sets out to mess with your head with illusions, and it did it so well that my brain melted, and I just did not care to even try to beat this level legit. I was so tired of dying constantly by the end of it that I just cheated the rooms with Hornet Chaser. The boss is pretty bad too. The bouncing bullets from the Apache Joes are obnoxious, hard to kill and deal a ton of damage, and Neon Man himself also will eat your health alive if you so much as graze him. I appreciate that you're able to pull off this gimmick really well. It's probably like the best illusion type gimmick in Mega Man I've seen. The issue is that it does its job far too well and horribly broke my brain and just led me to be constantly dying over and over because I slightly misjudged where the platforms would be. I agree, Pori. The outside sections looked really cool, but the inside sections were just the same backgrounds over and over and didn't look good. I didn't really like the holographic sections either. It almost feels like some parts of the stage were designed for the player to destroy the holograms with Hornet Chaser, because getting through certain sections is really hard if you don't. That's not a good thing to do to the player. The boss is also way too hectic, and that Cowper Joe just sends it over the edge. Overall, this level had a lot of potential, but bad execution. Well, the concept for this is certainly interesting. However, it's one of those concepts that encourages the player to get rid of it altogether during their playthrough. Doing a Buster-only run of this stage could easily get very tedious, as the player has to wait often, complete cycles of the background in order to not put themselves at risk of falling off. Coupled with the added enemies later in the stage, using Hornet Chaser to just get rid of the entire driving point of this level is a much safer option, which also will make the level a lot more fun to play. The boss fight is not much better. Unfortunately, with the background of Apache Joe's distracting from the actual fight, and the projectiles blending in with the slowly moving background, I didn't have a lot of fun with this level, and I think that while its concept is creative, it needs a lot of adjustments in order to be even remotely usable in a fun environment. I don't know how the weird screen distorting effect was any good at all. If you fail to quickly kill the enemy that causes it, the view has already screwed itself and not dying becomes a case of trial and error. Not to mention that the level design doesn't suit such a mechanic to begin with. Granted, there were some cool ideas, but it's just an average level. It's not very fun, looks bad, and is executed awfully. Nice meme. Okay, on a serious note, I think the weakest aspect of your stage is the graphics, as a lot of stuff was way off style, particularly the original enemies and the master. You know what? I can live with lackluster graphics, and I'll give you props for making sure things match the color palette of your level. As for your stage, your primary gimmick was really cool. I love the idea behind it. Sure, it occasionally required you to memorize, but checkpoints were very well placed, so that helped a big deal to limit the frustration. Where things get kind of wonky is some of the enemy layouts on the screens with your gimmick. Many are overcrowded. Fewer enemies on these screens would have helped the stage a big deal better. The Great Propeller enemy is the biggest offender. He has too much health and nearly always placed in locations where he's fine on his own, but mixed with other enemies was painful. Still, I felt this level was enjoyable all told, if a bit hard for its own good. Your Robot Master was really fun to fight and a great cap to your end of level. He was difficult but very doable and very satisfying to actually take down Buster only. Next to your gimmick idea, I think your execution of this guy is the highlight of your stage. So I really agree with Ace Spark on this one. Very much so. You'll need to swipe your Metro card to get on the subway. I'm gonna get that bright man next time I see him. He thinks he's the smartest Robot Master around. What a hothead. Jungle Bass. This is Contra music, right? I'm not a big fan of this level, personally. I don't hate it by any means. It's pretty fun, I guess. It just doesn't hold my interest very well. I far prefer Neon Man's stage. I like the theming of the level, at least. That was stupid. Oh, cool. I'm all the way back here. didn't see that one. Not bad. Weirdly designed level. Most of the obstacles you can basically just burrow through with a charge shot or effortlessly slide past. The level also doesn't play terribly well because the majority of enemies that take more than a charge shot are Sniper Joes. The enemies seem less placed to be a threat and more placed to be in your way. It's just kind of a bland level. There's effort and the theme is okay, music is pretty great. The design just isn't there. I'm not actually a big fan of the track that was used. That was a pretty boring level. It was mostly just running to the right, charging your buster, and shooting enemies without giving it a second thought. There were some rooms that you didn't even have to stop moving. I kind of liked the use of the different tile sets, but there were a few rooms toward the end that were a bit hard on the eyes. Tried to make it more clear what's a background and what isn't. Excuse me. A pretty nice, rompy jungle level. It presented its ideas in an organized fashion and expands on some of them throughout the level. Sadly, it often forgets about some of the assets it introduced, making the level feel more segmented than coherent in parts. It also likes to throw in a little too many enemies at one occasionally with airborne enemies serving as a projectile dispenser that can't easily be taken care of unless you fire hornets or throw swords at them, a method not otherwise encouraged in the level. As far as the mutation of setups is concerned, the level leans toward repetition more so than mutation, with many consecutive instances of the same premise being very similar to each other. Nonetheless, this is a fun level to play through that presents itself as fair towards the player and just needs that polish in order to be much more satisfying to play. There's not a lot to say about this level. Nothing in it feels either awful or awesome. The level design is actually fairly decent, but it's not something that's particularly amazing. Admittedly, this stage does look a bit too similar to Napalm Man's stage, but it still has a few pretty decent ideas. Other than that, there's just not much I can say. It's decent, but nothing too spectacular here. I get it, going for the Contra theme, fair enough, but Mega Man is not a run-and-gun game. It's a full-on platformer. You really can't just get away with clunking enemies willy-nilly and expect it to be fun. Even Contra and the NES bothered with stage gimmicks to prevent stagnation. This did nothing. There's nothing horrible about this, but why not explore the dev kit a little more? There's a metric ton of gimmicks in there. More than just enemies, please use them. To give you some credit, even on the overcrowded screens, it never felt unmanageable, and the look of the stage was absolutely fine if generic. You're decent at getting tile sets to work together, and the layout wasn't bad, but boy was this stage horrifically dull. At least some of the other enemy-only stages managed to have some originality behind them. Also, boss corridor, no boss or climax. If you weren't going to use any other Mega Man tropes, why use this one? I'm on my way to the zoo, but I always loved lions, but I've never been able to see one in person. Orbital Station. This might be my last level for tonight. Whew. I'm feeling sleepy all of a sudden. This level is known for soft blocking the player. If this happens to you, press 2 to suicide. So I'm not a huge fan of this level, but I don't hate it either. There we go. There we go. That was horrible. Good checkpoint placement, at least. No! There we go. We did it. We got all the noble nickels. I'm not gonna... Aw, man. I'm not gonna lie, this stage is really creative, and while it's a little finicky and janky, it was a great idea and a great attempt. Just wish this elevator didn't go so slow. We made it. And we've collected all the noble nickels in this stage. Oops. That was my fault. Close. The air conditioning on this train is incredible. Pori, are you familiar with Shovel Knight? Why did they make me keep the air cool in here? I hate this job. Hori? I'm gonna end there for tonight, folks. Hope you all have a great night and day. Thank you for joining me. Rage Against the Society Tiara.